Sit back, boys and girls, because we're getting ready to go into it. We're getting ready to go for a ride, and we're going to get deep. So put your thinking caps on, and let's get ready to work. Understand this. Christianity was used against us when we became slaves. They used it to indoctrinate us into a system of servitude. It lasted for a while, but then we flipped the script. We learned to read, and we started to interpret Christianity for not Christianity. We started to interpret the Bible for ourselves. And when we started interpreting the Bible for ourselves, they couldn't use Christianity against us. We started using Christianity against them. We started using Christianity, where before Christianity was using us to manipulate our minds and indoctrinate us. Then we use Christianity to break out of slavery. And once we used it to break out of slavery, then we used it to gain civil rights and voting rights. We used Christianity. So, okay, you want to call me a black Christian, then yeah, but I'm using Christianity to get what I want. But nowadays, pay attention. Christianity is using us again. Christianity is using us again to re-indoctrinate us back into a system of servitude. So how is it doing that? We know Jesus is Yashua, a black man. Okay? We can read it ourselves. Hair like lambs, white hair like lambs. Well, who is that? Looks like my hair. So he had to be an older man. Feet the color of burnt bronze. I know whose feet is a different color from the rest of their body. So we know he was a black man. His eyes were fiery red, which means that he was upset. Upset. Not an alcoholic, he was upset. We know, reading Deuteronomy 28, that the curse was slavery, and we would be spread all over the world. The Hebrew Israelite would be spread all over the world. Who was spread all over the world and enslaved? We were. We go to Revelations 2:9 and 3:9, and what does it say? It says that the Israelis are usurpers and they worship in the synagogue of Satan. We know all these things. Now check this out. We've been proving that we're God's chosen people every chance we get. Jesse Owens, Usain Bolt, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, sports, music, science, everything. We invented the cell phone. We invented the internet. A black woman invented the furnace. We invented the light bulb. Lewis Lattimore invented the light bulb, not Thomas, that we use today, not Thomas Edison. And Lewis Lattimore invented the telephone. Garrett Moore, the stoplight. And he invented other things. We invented refrigeration, refrigerated trucks. We did all these things. All these Caucasians did is patented what we did. Let's not even talk. I mean, I mentioned some music. United States gets its swag from us. We invent Motown, dominated. People still listen to Motown. Beatles listening to Motown. When Beatles was rocking, the only other people that was rocking was us. They had one group, the Beatles. How many groups did Motown have and Atlantic Records have? We invented rap. We invented jazz, gospel. We invented country western. We invent everything. Country gets its swag from us. Now we know these things. We know these things. Christianity has taken us as far as it can take us. We've used Christianity up. Now we cannot allow Christianity to use us. This Caucasian Jesus stuff, you gotta throw that out the window, because Jesus is not pronounced Jesus, it's pronounced Jesus. It's a Latino word. It's Jesus. They don't even pronounce it right. And we look goofy going around talking about saying Jesus when it should be Jesus. We look goofy looking at a white Jesus. That is ridiculous. Now, the Bible says that Yashua said that he was the Son of Man. Now, white folks is they trying to dilly-dally around and say, is Jesus God? That don't even make sense. How can a human being be God? All-powerful, all-knowing, almighty, and then you're going to let somebody put you on a cross? Put you on a cross and torture you for what? Then another thing, that cross, sad to say, but it's an instrument of torture. It is an instrument of torture. It is nothing to be proud of. I have a cross. I stopped wearing the thing when I realized, hey, why am I wearing this? Yashua died on this thing and resurrected. And when you talk about resurrection, that's reincarnation. That's us also. All these, when you study and search for truth, you will find that every single religion out there came out of Africa, because we were spiritual philosophers. We studied everything. Greek philosophy came from Africa. The Library of Alexandria, which Alexander the pedophile changed the name to the Library of Alexandria. Now, why would a Greek library be in Africa? Because they didn't write the books. They didn't write the books. Aristotle, cat was a dummy. In fact, if Greek philosophy belonged to the Greeks, why did they have Socrates drink the poison hemlock? Because he was ruining their thing. That philosophy wasn't their thing. Aristotle had to get out of Greece. Plato had to get out of Greece. They was going off all these cats because it was not theirs. They was introducing something new. Search for truth to find you. Search for truth to find you, and God will recognize you. But now we've used Christianity up. We can't allow Christianity to use us, because right now Christianity is using us. You go in there, you paying tithes, and you got this guy up there buying airplanes and everything, airplanes, whatever he wants with your money. And he is using, that black pastor is using Christianity to make money off of you. It's time to leave that alone. Now, when I say leave that alone, did I say stop studying the Bible? No. Didn't say stop studying the Bible. The Bible is black history. The Bible is Hebrew Israelite history. Now, this is what you investigate like I did. Find out, when was the Bible written? Who were the people who wrote it? Emperor Constantine had the Council of Nicaea edit the parchments that the Bible came from. The Bible wasn't, and then King James, the version we read now, King James was a black king of England. Educate yourself. It's time to leave that Christianity stuff alone, and it's time for us to study spirituality. The Kabbalion, study the Kabbalion. Hermetic philosophy, that's ours. Greek philosophy, when it comes to the summum bonum, that is ours. Reincarnation, that is ours. The whole thing, Yashua arising from the dead and then saying he will return, is reincarnation. When I'm lying, tell me when, because all of this adds up. Stop calling yourself black Christians and call yourself Hebrew Israelites, because if you don't, you are enabling Israelis to usurp our ethnicity. And you need to tell them, no, you are not a Hebrew Israelite. You are of the Synagogue of Satan. So don't come smiling at my face and trying to steal my race. That don't work. You belong in the Synagogue of Satan, and nothing about you or your people is in line with Deuteronomy 28. You don't identify with that. You don't look like Yashua, who was a Jew. You weren't enslaved and sent all over the world, but the reality of the situation, you were the enslavers. And the enslavers were the the people who enslaved us are called the Judeo-Christians. It was the Judeo-Christians who enslaved black people. Judeo-Christian. They did it together. And then another thing, and who did they buy slaves from? The Arabs. They bought slaves from Islam, the Arabs. Portugal, Judeo-Christians. Ukraine, usurpers of our ethnicity. You see, I didn't just come by this. I learned. I studied. And one thing about me is this: if you hear a white voice, change the channel, because you probably gonna be hearing a lie. I mean, understand that we all know this. The only power that Satan has is deception. And when they understand this, they taught you that Columbus discovered America and people was here. So right there, if they lied to you one time, they're going to keep lying to you. And when people lie to you, they lie to you for a reason. They lie to you for a reason. They don't just make up a lie for nothing. A lie has a purpose: to deceive and to take advantage of you, which is what they've been doing. Now, I'll listen to a white person if what he's saying adds up to what I already know. Let a white person tell me that Yashua wasn't black, I'm gone. I don't want to hear nothing else you got to say. Let a white person tell me that Israelis are Jews, I'm out of there. They are not Hebrew Israelites in according to the Bible. But see, you got these people out here now that would tell you, black and white pastors would tell you, well, forget that part of the Bible. Forget this part of the Bible. Just listen to me. Just listen to me. No. Read it for yourself. And if you have a question, then meditate on it, and Yahweh will give you the answer. Yahweh will give you the answer. Now, let me say something right now. I don't hate the black church. I don't hate black Christians, because there was a time when we used Christianity to get what we wanted. But guess what? We've drained it. We can get nothing else from Christianity because we know everything Christianity can teach us, we know. Now it's time to follow up on the things we know to be true. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.